everyone. My name is Emily Balsley and I am an illustrator living in Madison, Wisconsin. I do work for books, magazines, card games, puzzles, and murals. Today we are going to draw a garden scene utilizing some of these how to draw animal sheets that will be available for download. Let's get started. For this project we are going to need 2 pieces of paper, one for practice and one for our final drawing. You're going to need your drawing sheets, which have all of the garden critters that we're going to draw, a pencil, and a black marker, and markers, crayons, colored pencils, anything you want to use to color in your final drawing. Okay, we are going to start to draw. You need 2 sheets of paper. You can put one off to the side for now. We're going to practice our garden critters first. Pencil and black marker. Whenever I draw, I start with a pencil. That way I can erase if I need. I can kind of sketch it out a little bit, and then when I'm ready, I can go in with the black and bolden everything up. So that's what we're going to do here. We are going to focus on 6 garden critters. We're going to do everything except for the mouse and the snake, but feel free to practice those as well. We're going to focus on kind of the insects for right now, and the snail. So first up, snail. All of these critters are built off of very, very basic shapes. First up with the snail, we have a circle, which we underline. Point that off for the tail, and we do the head and we round it off. Have the spiral for the shell, little antenna. I put balls on my antenna, and the little nose, 2 eyes, a smile. And we'll even throw in a bow tie because that's kind of fun. Okay, once that's sketched out and you like it, you can go in there with your black. Just darken everything up. You don't necessarily have to go in the same order as the first time, because you know where everything is going to be this time. And if you can see your pencil afterwards, you can always go back in and erase those little marks if you want. You don't have to. Okay, there's our snail. Next up, let's do the bee. So again, we're going to start with that circle first. Add kind of a small U shape on the back. That's going to be its body. Next we do one teardrop shape and then one kind of behind it, and this is where you can go in and you can erase that little overlap if you want. Add a little stinger, some stripes, little pointy nose, antenna. The front antenna goes over the line, the back antenna goes behind it. Add little balls, your eyes, a smile, and then those details. So we're going to put some lines in the wings, add some feet and legs. Yeah, there's our bee. All right, we'll do it again with the black. Okay, fill in that black because, you know, it's a bee and bees have black stripes. Hey, Mr. Bee. Ooh, you know we can add a little bit of a trail behind him so it looks like he's flying through the air. Okay. Speaking of flying, let's do a butterfly. For this one, we start out with the body. We're gonna add 2 big triangles kind of towards the top of the body, and then 2 smaller triangles, a little skinnier, I guess. The bottom, some antenna, and then you can decorate the wings however you want. I do stripes and polka dots, but you can do whatever you want. All right, go back in with the black. Those wings kind of look like pizza now that I'm looking at it. Kind of silly. Kind of like the idea of pizza butterflies though. Okay. Oh, we gotta put that little flying trail as well. Okay. Let's do the praying mantis. Okay, this one's a little more complicated. So we're gonna start with its triangle head. Now, mantises have these big oval eyes, so this is where that eraser is kind of nice because we can cover up those corners. Put those little beady eyes in, a little smile. How about some antenna? Okay, so now we're gonna do kind of a bowl shape. So kind of a long arch like that. And we're going to draw a straight line to the center and then another straight line to the end, kind of segmenting its body into 2 parts. Next up, legs. The legs are kind of like a step. The top leg goes on the top half. The middle leg goes right at that middle point. And again, kind of step it, add a little foot. Now the rear legs start in the center of that bottom half, but they come off a little bit differently. They look like almost like grasshopper legs, so they come off high with a little foot. And we do the same thing for that back leg. And you can beef it up a little bit. So there's our mantis. Lots of straight lines in that one. Eyes are almost the only curves. So again, when you're going back in with your black, now that you know where everything goes, you don't have to necessarily make that full triangle. Same with this rear body. See how I didn't connect it? That way you can put your front leg through it, so it looks like that front leg is actually in front of the body. All right, you can add the rest of its legs. I was kind of faking it in the front. Sometimes I do that with my drawing to not overcomplicate it. All right, there's our mantis. Let's do a ladybug. Oh, let's start with a pencil. Ladybugs are pretty simple, which is fun because then you can add them all over your garden. So a ladybug is essentially a semicircle. You add its little head with a small curve. You add a couple antennae, some feet. Of course, we have to have those large spots. And look at that, there's our ladybug. Go back in with the black. So this time we can actually fill in those spots. And that head. And all the little details. All right. Last but not least, we're going to do a spider. So for the spider, we're starting with that big circle again. That's going to be the head and the body. Spider's going to be hanging from his web. Then we're going to do our 8 legs. So we do 4, on each side. I kind of curve them out. You could do straight legs if you want. I did a big rectangular nose. And then add all those details. So we have lots of space for some eyes. Just looking at that mantis. And a smile, eyebrows, maybe some little feet. There we go. All right. Add that black. Again, you don't have to go in the same order that you drew it this time around. Finish up those legs. Now, as you can see, I kind of missed my pencil line there. You can go back in and erase some of those pencil lines if you don't like them. Make sure that your black marker is pretty dry though before you do that. If it's fresh, it might actually smear. Like this one might smear because I just drew it, so I'm just going to be extra careful. So you don't have to do that. Sometimes it's kind of nice to see your under drawing, shows the process a little bit. Totally up to you, but you can clean it up. There we go. There are our garden critters. Now we're going to add these to a garden scene. So for that, we're going to need that second sheet of paper. I'm going to get you started and then I'm going to let you go with it. So we're going to be adding these critters to our garden scene. First, we need a garden for our critters to live in. I'm going to make a flower garden. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to essentially draw maybe 3 big flowers around my page, and then I'm going to place my garden critters around those flowers. I want to start right away with the black, so you don't have to necessarily watch me draw everything twice. I want to show you some examples of some flowers, but feel free to do your own flowers because that's way more fun. All right, so for this flower, we're gonna make a sunflower. So start with your circle. Add some radiating petals off of it. My petals are rounded. You could do yours that are a little bit more squared off. Totally up to you. I might add a few seeds to my sunflower. Again, you can decorate your flower however you see fit. I'm going to draw a long stem with a tall petal. Okay, there's flower number 1. I think I'm going to do a shorter flower here. This one, I'm going to start with a smaller center, and I'm actually going to radiate some lines off of it, kind of like spokes of a bicycle, straight off that center. Then I'm going to go in and I'm going to connect every other line. Sometimes you're left with just one line. You can add another one in there, kind of sneak it in there to connect that petal. So we have some kind of triangular shaped petals for this flower. Draw a curved stem. Maybe this leaf is more of a heart shape. Okay, that works. I'm going to add some lines to the end of these petals. Okay. All right, how about one more big one? Maybe we're going to do more of a tulip over here. So tulips are, you start with a U shape, and then we're going to kind of do some triangular petals up here. I like adding some little details in those V's. All right, long stem. I'll do some smaller leaves on this one. Okay, so as you can see, we have kind of the start of a garden here. You know, I'm actually gonna add a mushroom because mushrooms are fun to draw. So for a mushroom, kind of start with this, like a flat rainbow, and then make a tall rainbow on top of it. Next, you're gonna add your, is it a stem? Is that what mushrooms have? I don't know. And then come back and draw the inside of your mushroom. Maybe add some lines in here. You can make it more toadstool looking with those big spots. All right, so we have 3 flowers. We have a mushroom. I think we need something for all of these flowers to sit on, so I'm gonna add a little bit of grass along the bottom here. Okay, so here's our garden. This is where the fun comes in. Now, you're gonna take the same animals that you drew before, and you're gonna add them to your garden scene. Yeah, so maybe I'll add a couple just to show you what I mean. For example, maybe in this space up here, we draw a butterfly because they would be flying between the flowers. So let's draw a little butterfly in here. Again, your big triangle wings, and then your skinny triangle wings. Antenna, I'm just gonna put 3 polka dots on this one. Okay. What else could we do? Maybe we put Mr. Snail down here. So for the snail, we start with that big circle. So he's gonna be kind of nestled in the grass here. Curve him up. Put his little antennas on. Oh, can't forget the spiral. Oh, and the bow tie, my favorite part. All right, I don't know, what else? You could do maybe the bee, you could draw another butterfly. Ooh, how about we draw, we could do a spider hanging right here. We'll make him kind of small. Okay, and one more. We're gonna put the ladybug on this toadstool because the toadstool kind of actually reminds me of the ladybug. There we go. Okay, yeah. Should we do one? I feel like there's some empty space here. We could do the bee. Let's do the bee. All right, bee. Ooh. Okay. Antenna, little stinger. Little sharp nose. Yeah, oh, can't forget those legs, of course. All right, there's the garden scene. At this point, I would bring in some color. So I mentioned markers, but you could use crayons, you could use color pencils, you could use paints if you have them. You could color this in any way you see fit. You could add more animals if you want. I didn't add the praying mantis, or was that the only one? I guess I didn't add that one. You could add multiple ladybugs all over. I mean, maybe it's just a ladybug garden. You can do whatever you want. So this is where you can just kind of have fun with it. Be free to do whatever you want. You can decorate your flowers. Maybe I'll add some extra lines in this one. So many things. You could put a sun up in the sky. So yeah, draw different flowers. So many different ways you can express yourself, but just have fun with it. And that's it. I had a blast drawing my garden today, and I hope you did too. This is what mine turned out looking like once I added the color. Thanks to the Madison Public Library and the Monroe Street Library League. Have a wonderful day, and let's draw again soon.